These are all of the books I'm bringing with me. They are currently all in my rotation. I also quickly want to talk about, yes, it is true. I have been handcuffed, put into jail twice. Both times I was bailed out within 24 hours, like by, my cat is down there in the crack between my bed and the wall. Anyways, I was bailed out by the, whoa, that would hurt. Do you guys see that? So both times that I went to jail, I was actually bailed out by the person that put me in there. And I want to talk about it briefly because maybe you have gone through something similar and we can talk about it. I just want, my life story to be more transparent and for you to know more about me. I think it'll allow people to be more open and comfortable with me on this channel, which is what I am here for. But essentially, the first time I went to jail, it was due to an argument with my first real boyfriend ever. I had just turned 18, and I'm going to call him, we'll call him Sport, Old Sport. We were together for about 3 years. During this time, it was actually lockdown. It was like peak lockdown, and we were traveling. I know. We were traveling between 2 different states that we lived in, and we got into a pretty heated argument. I had to pull over, and at this time in my life, I was going through therapy and going through things, and so was Old Sport. We were both in therapy. It's one of the things that we bonded over was our healing processes, right? Unfortunately, the argument got so hot that I was being physically abused and being told things that caused me to want to harm myself. When the security company that was monitoring this area that I was pulled over in saw us, they immediately called the police and they blocked my car in the space. So I wasn't in their parking lot. I was just pulled off to the side next to this like storage place that was monitored by this security company. And they were like driving these Jeeps, which, what kind of security company, whatever. What kind of security company is going around with Jeep Wranglers? I mean, maybe it's common where you are. I didn't even know this existed. But anyways, they blocked my car in, so I couldn't physically leave, which I thought was crazy. Can they do that? I don't know. It happened. So they blocked me in. I couldn't leave, and they called the police. Now, at this time, I was already bruised and physically distressed because of my boyfriend at the time. He put his hands on me multiple times during this altercation. Physical abuse it's one of the entry points for somebody who struggles with these things to take. So somebody who's already susceptible to suicidal ideation or thoughts of self-harm, if you physically abuse them or emotionally abuse them, it pushes them into that space. That's their coping mechanism for all of it, right? One of us was going to jail. The state that we were in has a very strict domestic abuse law. I learned this from my parents. I am pulled out of the car, not forcefully, just hey, come on, get out of the car. And they could see that I was physically abused. I just need to also say this. I am clearly black and white. I'm mixed with a whole bunch of things, but I mostly just simmer it down to black and white to make it easy for everybody. My ex-boyfriend, fully white. I told them my story, that I was driving. We started verbally arguing. He began physically attacking me, and it caused me to pull over. And mentally, I'm still working through things. Self-harm is one of my coping mechanisms. It got to that point. And that's when security saw me. That's when security got involved. That's when they called you guys. I have the physical marks to prove it. That I was being hurt. That I was being abused. That's what caused all of this. I don't know what he told them. I couldn't hear. But they handcuffed me and they said, we have to take you in. One of the scariest moments of my life was being put in the back of a cop car. Never in a bajillion years did I ever think I would be there. Ever, ever, ever. I was kicking, I was screaming, I went, boneless? Like I dropped my weight on the officers multiple times in an attempt for them not to take me. But I was so tiny, like it didn't really matter. They could just pick me up. I was kicking the heck out of those windows. They threatened to put me in a jacket. I got to the place after bawling my eyes out that whole time. The officer that drove me was doing his best to calm me down, telling me that it's just something that they had to do for my safety, for the other person's safety, and that this will basically get thrown out. Like, I'm not going to have to see the judge. It's just, they have to hold me. They said it's a mandatory hold. I was there for like 12 or 13 hours. He bailed me out, and like a month or two later, I had to go back to that state, that city, that court, and all I did was I dressed real professional, okay? I walked in there, and I sat in the courtroom, and then the bailiff came over to me. He said, "Are you blah, blah, blah?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "You're free to go. Your case has been dismissed." Of course it has, because there's Anyways, crazy. That was the first time I was in jail. The second time, similar story, but different. So that was old sport. This is somebody else I dated. We're going to call this person Lamb Chop. Lamb Chop and I had a very intense relationship from the beginning. And one of the things that this person did from the jump, like from the first time we got into any sort of argument, was they put their hands on me. I was not hurting myself in response to the abuse. In fact, I was throwing my weight around, showing them that I'm not their bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like being very defensive with myself. And this person and I, Lamb Chop and I, were on a road trip, and one argument, spiraled into this person's now punching me. A sheriff rolls by. What did they see? Me defending myself. They get up to the car. They ask what's going on, and I'm very honest. Looking back, this was a mistake. We could have gotten off scot-free if I had just said nothing, everything's fine. But could we have, though? Because later on the sheriff told me that he had to take me regardless because they saw me hurting him. Anyways, the cop rolls up. They're like, "What's going on? Like, talk to us." And I told him, this person is abusing me. Okay, Lamb Chop is abusing me. I'm defending myself. They pull us both out of the car. He talks to Lamb Chop first for like 15 to 20 minutes, you guys. Waiting for the head sheriff or whoever the fuck to come. I'm just waiting over by the vehicle, like pacing back and forth. I had a gut feeling that this was going to happen anyways. So I'm just like trying to regulate my system because I'm about to talk to cops. So I'm relaxing myself, calming myself down, hoping that this person's going to be honest and tell them what happened. And of course they're not honest because they don't want to. Also, Lamb Chop is also white. I just had to put that out there. I don't know if I'm going to post this. Fuck it, I'm going to post it. I feel like it's not talked about enough. I feel like people are just sweeping these things under the rug because they think it makes them look bad. I don't care how I look. I know who I am. I know the truth of what happened. Okay? The head sheriffs or whatever, they come and they tell me that they're going to take me. I again kick everything. I drop my weight multiple times, just refusing to comply. And they do the same thing. They're like, we're going to put you in a jacket, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care enough to put up more of a fight once I'm in the car. I just fall asleep. They put me through the whole booking process, and within 4 hours, maybe less, Lamb Chop bails me out. I had to go through 26 weeks of anger management program to get it off of my record. But here I am. I am happy to be here and to tell my story. Hopefully it inspires you to do the same. Remember to subscribe to see more of me, hear more about me. I love you.